Hey everybody, so this is gonna be a kind of short one. I'm not gonna talk like way as much as I normally do or anything like that. Found on grounded, you can also cook berries, but this is gonna be the Fable, or in the Ponic Patch. But this is the new Fable trailer. We're gonna go over it. We're gonna go over my thoughts. We're gonna go over what I think, and we're gonna go over future plans. Okay, so I might have to do that introduction again. So we're gonna go over the future. We're gonna go over looks. We're gonna go over everything the game has to offer, and we're also going to go over things of my point of view, my interests, and other stuff like that. Now, I've been a big Fable fan since the first one. I believe I played either the second or third one. I can't remember which one it was, and I kind of didn't like the direction they were going. I think Fable 1 was kind of its own standout and kind of its own thing, and I think it kind of did it very well because I didn't like how they didn't add all the spells back, and I think that was just like, ugh. So we first got probably our first city. It's kind of dark. I think this is a person, I think, or some type of, no, this looks like some scenery. It's kind of hard to tell. Oh, this is the top of a house or a shack. Um, the house kind of gives me like a Warhammer type vibe, like Age of Sigmar. We got the first look of the city, and I'm assuming this is supposed to be the hometown, basic kind of operations thing. Maybe this is Bowerstone. Um, and we're getting kind of our first look at it. Currently, right now, it looks very like generic. Like if you told me this was a Fable game, I would have been like, yeah, from the screenshot, this does not give me a Fable vibe. Okay, so this is the city from like outside of the city, I assume. And we got a compass, and it looks like there's nothing out here. So there might just be like, okay, nothing out here so far. Okay, so we're gonna go over those costumes really quick. So we kind of got our first kind of bard type costume. I wonder if there's different types of classes or different types of skills. Are you going to be a wizard? Are you going to be more like a warrior? Because in the first game, you were more like a warrior who had wizardly powers. We got our first look at the chicken costume, which I feel like might be DLC. Because I don't see the reason why this would be in the game. Okay, we got more like a rogue thing kind of going on. I'm going to turn down the volume just a little bit because it's blaringly loud. Okay, so there was a chicken. We know there's fighting a chicken. So as we could see, the game looks more like there are pathways, and these kind of look like drugs or dregs or whatever they're called. We got our 4 spells. So it looks like we got Fireball. We got multi swords, or maybe this is multi hit. This might be lightning. This might be like a speed thing right here. Our health bar. This might be our stamina. I don't know. This is our arrow count. So I do like the house. I understand that Fable is getting a remake. So I understand that a lot of stuff is going to look vastly different. But this is not giving me a Fable game. Fable was it was kind of one of those games that it was mostly goofy and funny, but also it had times where the tone can shift to being serious and daunting and heroic. So mixing the right balance between that is going to be very tough because sometimes you can make a game and you don't understand why it did so well, and they try to redo the formula and they try to reprint that game again, and it just fails utterly, like just fails utterly. And I'm don't get me wrong, as a world, I like the look of the world. I think it looks good, in my opinion. I think it looks good. I want to see what they're going to do with the Heroes Guild because that was a big thing in the first one. So it looks like we can do some type of mini game to earn gold, which it looks like we are repairing a pitchfork. Um, and right now, this is kind of giving me like, hey, I just got done playing Baldur's Gate 3. Hmm. New business, Dartmoors. So this could have been. So yeah, it was right. It was Bowerstone. Okay, me on point today. Butterfly or Butterfield Market. So we got markets, obviously, and it says owned. So this must mean that we bought the business. Our character has 71,800, which basically means that whoever's playing this is probably later in the game. And it's kind of like now in Fallout 1, the swords range from like very generic and boring to okay, these look pretty cool, but there wasn't a really good in between. So I'm just wondering. We'll see if the demon door is back, but I do like I do like the city's look so far, but it doesn't give me a Fable vibe. Sorry, it doesn't give me a Fable vibe. It gives me more like this is just an RPG that kind of looks like Baldur's Gate 3.
How can I help you?
I know someone's gonna be like, Black Lady woke. I could already see that. Now, I don't know the context of this story, so I have no like affliction of knowing, hey, where do these races belong to, or where they come from, or how does it work? But I hope she's not just like a token black woman for no apparent reason. She's just in the city. So I hope Albion has like a diverse cast, but I want it to make sense. Like I don't want it to be like you go to Europe or you go to like Finland and there's like all these black people everywhere or something, you know, in like the 13000 or something. It's like what? Or maybe like Britain or something like early in Britain's days or something like you can't just put races into things. They have to make sense within the world itself. Like everything is a puzzle piece. You can't just have puzzle pieces that don't fit and you're trying to jam them in. Like I don't mind seeing other races. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like, "Oh, there's a black woman in here." Woke. Like those fucking idiot people. But I want it to kind of fit into the place. I want it to feel like it's not, oh, hey, this random black token girl is in here. Holy crap, next to all the white boys over there. Like, more like, oh, hey, I come from Selenia. It's the nation kind of right next to us, so my family moved here a while ago. and I really love the sights. Or you could say, or the character could say, "Oh, I love your accent," and she goes, "Oh, well, thank you." And then your character might have a thing that says, "Where did you come from?" And she could say, "Oh, I was born here, but my family traveled from Salinia to Albion, and we got settled up north, but then our family's business grew, and then we ended up in Bowerstone, and it's been a very good blessing." And then we just learned lore, not about just this character, but there's also a whole nother region what has people of this ethnicity inside of that world. And then you have world building. Or, she's going to say, like, I used to fight for money, and now I get to have this cushy life just selling, like, cut up pig's feet, because, I used my skills as a warrior to learn how to cut meat, and I was helped by my mentor. And, it's like, I'm making up world building as I'm going. And that's believable. That's not like, whoa, life story here. That's like, yeah, that's pretty believable. That's how people talk. That's how dialogue should sound. It should sound natural. It shouldn't sound forced.
Boss?
Wait, what'd she say? Wait, hold on, go back. What'd she say?
How can I help you, boss?
Oh, no, 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 no. Nah! Please, God, no. Why is she talking like that? This is supposed to be a. This is supposed to be a Renaissance era game. Why is she saying, "Can I help you, boss?" Or "What can I help you with, boss?" Wait, was it "What can I help you with, boss?" Or is it
How can I help you, boss?
"How can I help you, boss?" Nobody talks like that. Nobody talks like that. Nobody. I've had people talk to me like that, but that's because I'm a fucking beast. Male peak performance right here. But like, no one ever says that. Like, I think the only people I've ever heard talk like that are like people of color, and it's kind of like a more like a boss, sup boss type of thing. It's not like the person's actually calling you boss. It's kind of just more like a friendly gesture. So the thing is like, why does she talk like that? This is not even in that era. Unless all these people are role playing, which would be a funny twist.
Fancy it.
Oh, well, wait. We could chat to random NPCs. Simon, a snobby commoner. Chat. Well, he lives in Bowerstone. I mean, that's kind of expected.
Fancy.
Dating gifts. So we got perfume. We got pastries. So we got wildflower bouquet. Wild and romantic with a hint of an untamed forest. Or with a hint of the untamed forest. Why does this look like Baldur's Gate? I can't get over that. It's like this game is really trying to be Baldur's Gate. That's the vibe I'm getting.
切底，
Yeah, you could have children who you could have a lot of children. I think you could have like multiple wives, it said in the description. So it's kind of like, Date, can I have a scone? Please, Date, please. And like, you know, the thing is like, I actually kind of think that's really cool. Because the first one you couldn't have children in. And I think that's kind of a blessing because the children were fucking hideous. Can you imagine a kid walking around being like, Date? So, also, the other one had kind of like the villagers were like British. And it kind of added to the humor. And like one thing I remember is that it's like the first quest you get, and you go and you sit behind and you see this guy cheating on his wife, and he goes, "I'll give you 5 cents if you don't tell," or he like, "I'll give you a cent if you don't tell my wife." And then I just immediately went and stitched to the wife because I wanted to see what would happen. And she goes, "I'm gonna go get that bastard. I'm gonna wring him in that whore's neck." And then she like runs over there and you run over there and she's like, "You dirty dog." Like it's like stuff like that that makes me really like Fable 1. It's just stuff that's like you could just be a chaotic little gremlin and it's just fun to kind of watch. And some of the dialogue, the voice acting was really good in Fable 1. I think I didn't like how in the remaster they nerfed the Sword of Albion. I think that was really stupid. I get it was broken in the original game, but like you didn't need to nerf it. It's an end game weapon for a reason because it's the end game. At this point, you're already overly powered. Chicken chaser, so they brought back the chicken kicking, which PETA is not going to be happy. Jasmine, a charitable commoner. Jasmine's kind of a wait a second. Is Jasmine Asian? What? Silverbrook. So this might be a place. I'm trying to figure out why the world is diverse. And I know before someone comes at me, but there's nothing wrong with diversity in the world. There kind of is. And I'm going to explain that. If you just put diversity in a game and you don't explain why there's different, cultures and races and all these people together, and you don't like explain it through the story, like, oh, hey, all the nations were at war and now they come at peace and they've all moved in and mingled and socialized and da 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 da. Had different children with different races and it was at peace. That's perfectly good. That's perfectly fine. And it's kind of just like
Impressive.
so it says Vic Rom free zone. So I'm assuming maybe that's like a bad guy or something. I don't know. But maybe they could be cooking and crafting in this. So we got our first look at combat. So this might be force push. I'm assuming this is like a dash attack. We got our hobs. We got looks like a fire, like ground fire. This might be slow down time. Okay, so we got a fireball. And that's gonna be it for that. We're gonna also look at the screenshots. So we got fighting the giant chicken. We already kind of fought the Hobbs, which there's only like two of them. And I I understand these are screenshots, so they're not gonna have like armor, but do you not get like any armor? Oh, this is a new place we haven't seen yet. Okay, here's the other problem with RPGs is if you make them open world. Now I know a lot of people are gonna kind of be like, "What? What's wrong with open worlds?" There's nothing wrong with open worlds particularly. The issue is that if they do not have a lot of stuff in the open world, because then they just feel empty. Even if they feel very lively, they still feel very empty, and you don't really want to have the open world feel empty. You kind of want to pack it full of content. That way, everywhere you go, it kind of feels like there's something there, if you know what I mean. It feels like I could go to this area and I have a lot of content to do here. Not, I go to this area and it's just a generic town where I could talk to people. Like, maybe talk to people and they could, if they like you, or, you know, if you're at a certain level, you can talk with these people and they might like you or they might give you a quest or something. You know, something of that nature. Is this the last of the screenshots? No, it's not. And okay, so I think there's a data cycle map or data cycle, which is cool. Okay, so we're back to square one. My initial thoughts is it looks pretty good. Um, I'm glad it's on PC because it's single player. So if I ever run out of gold, I'm never gonna be like, ooh, I can't play this. Which honestly, having to spend like an exorbitant amount of money on gold every month because I get Game Pass Ultimate is like $25 a month. I think it's like 30, which is fucking ridiculous. And I'm starting to see why people are kind of jumping off the Xbox train and just being like, yeah, I'm just gonna go buy my games and I'm not spending all that money just to like play two games that I could just buy on my PC and play them there. And then like kind of just like, yeah, I'm not doing that. And plus the cool thing about PC is if like I buy a game and I could play it on my like Xbox, or I could play it through my PC, I just get to play that game as much time as I want. Like right now, if I just stop buying Xbox Gold for any God knows what reason, I would still have Grounded to play, and Xbox cannot take that away from me. And if they did, they're just bullshitting me, and I would never buy any of their games again. If they ever did that, I would completely move to Steam. They would never get any money out of me, like ever. Actually, I am kind of quite curious to see what other these games they made. Um, okay, so these. Okay, Forza, I know. Fable. Okay, I'm starting to see where the Fable kind of stuff is coming from. Okay. Do they just make remakes of popular games, or are these like other companies? Okay, maybe these are just other companies. So autumn, I think autumn is like September, right? Hey Siri, when does the season autumn starts up?
In the Northern Hemisphere, autumn occurs between September 22nd or 23rd and December 21st or 22nd. In the Southern Hemisphere, it occurs between March 20th or 21st and June 21st or 22nd. This is
Hey Siri, when does autumn start in the USA?
fall begins September 22nd and ends December 21st.
So if that's okay, because you got spring. Hey Siri, is autumn and fall the same thing?
Autumn and fall are used interchangeably as words for the season between summer and winter.
Okay. I always called it fall. Um, but I never knew autumn was interchangeable for that. So okay, so that's gonna happen in September. So we got our date. My only thing I would have to say is I don't know. It looks very generic, and to me, I just think, eh. I mean, I hope it's good, but I know people are probably gonna say it's generic. So I'll leave it at that. I'll catch you guys next time, and yeah, go have a good one.